Mr. Fisher is still outstanding.
Police believe Robert Fisher is on the run tonight.
Where is he? It's one of the great unanswered stories in Arizona history.
Well, tomorrow officially marks 20 years since one of the most gruesome murders in Valley history. Police believe Robert Fisher killed his family, 2 kids and his wife, then blew up their Scottsdale home, and he has not been found, landing on the FBI's top 10 most wanted list. This morning here on Good Morning Arizona, Charlie Min, who directed the documentary Where is Robert Fisher? He directed that to bring awareness to the case. He's joining us this morning to talk about the case. Charlie, good morning to you. It's hard to believe it's been 20 years, 10 years since you made the documentary, and yet the big question still looms: where is Robert Fisher? Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you for having me, Gina.
Yeah, you know, it's funny because I actually was one of the first reporters on the scene. I remember I lived not too far away from there, and you could see the smoke plume for miles. And when we got there, you could tell there was a certain dark cloud over the scene, even with investigators, with first responders. You spent a lot of time with the lead investigators, and I imagine at this point, still 20 years later, this case still haunts them, yeah?
Absolutely. I think the big question right now is obviously, where is he, and is he alive? I mean, did he get out of that Tonto National Forest alive? Or did he perish that day, 20 years ago tomorrow? That's a $64,000 question. Unfortunately, Mr. Fisher looks like a lot of Americans, so he blends in with a lot of people. So that also makes this very, very difficult.
You know, on that note, we should mention on the FBI's 10 Most Wanted list on their Facebook page, they created a bunch of images on what he might look like. So it's good for folks to go check that out. So let me ask you, after all the research you did, all the interviews you did, 20 years later, do you believe he's still alive?
I would lean towards that he is alive. And the reason why I say that is because nothing was left behind, like a skull, some type of human remain that would make you think that he's still alive. Fisher bragged about being a survivalist, so certainly he needs those skills for his sake. There's been rumors that he's been in Mexico, but a lot of FBI top 10 most wanted fugitives are always rumored to be in Mexico because you could drift through Mexico with cash. You don't need any official documents. So thank you so much for you guys to spread awareness about this, because every case fades over time, and you can't solve a problem unless you talk about it. So it's unfortunate that only on anniversaries are these things truly discussed. And, you know, the public just needs to be more vigilant in general. Unfortunately, today we're so distracted by our phones. We don't really go out saying, oh, let me look for a top 10 FBI's most fugitive criminal. So people have to be on the lookout for this man who police believe killed his family. Don't forget, we had 2 children slaughtered. Yes. And his wife was nearly decapitated.
Yeah, and you bring up a great point, because they were particularly gruesome. I mean, first, like you said, you know, they're if I might be as graphic, you know, their throats were slit, and then the house was set on fire, and the gas, you know, was left to run so that we would see the explosion there. But, you know, you talk about survivalists. The Mogollon Rim is vast. There are many caves, there are many alcoves. Could it be that you really think that he is still alive, surviving in that area? Or could, you know, there was another theory that perhaps he committed suicide in that area?
Again, a lot of these caves that you're talking about, they were fully examined. People actually went in there and dug into those caves, and they didn't find any human remains. As I said, like a skull, some kind of fossil, nothing. So I believe he had some help. I believe he did get out of that forest alive. He left the dog unharmed, the family dog. His wife's car was found in the Tonto National Forest. So I think he's alive. I think he's out there somewhere. He's 60 years old today, so people have to take that into account.
Sure.
You have to look for a 60-year-old man. I believe he was around 6 feet tall. The one thing that investigators always look at is height. You can't change your height. Sure. You can certainly change your appearance, dye your hair, gain weight, lose weight, whatever the case may be. But always remember, your height doesn't change.
You know, and at the end of the day, Charlie, we still don't have justice for his family. I know one of the lead investigators has since passed. So has Mary's father, the wife. Her father passed as well without any answers. So bottom line this for us, if anybody knows or maybe assisted him, what would you like to tell them?
Well, we have to get justice. We had a family slaughtered. We had 2 kids, ages 10 and 12,
Yes.
slaughtered. A mom that was murdered. And the movie is called Where is Robert Fisher? It's been a streaming hit on Amazon Prime and other streaming services.
Yeah.
So I encourage people to watch the film because this is certainly one of the worst stories in the history of the Valley, definitely in Scottsdale.
Charlie Min, thank you so much for spending some time with us and kind of jarring our memories. And you should check out the documentary. I've actually watched it myself. It's very well done. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time.